What's going on, everybody? Zenlee here. The first time in 7 years that I've ever thought about doing this, but today I'm gonna bring you a tutorial on how I create my beats. There are some key mixing tips in there for Logic users. So if you use Logic, this will probably be a very good tutorial just to show you how to make a pretty simple yet hard-hitting beat. Let's get into the studio. Boom. Serenity right here. But yeah, let's get into the video. There's not gonna be much FaceTime when I'm actually in the video. I don't have any more space, pretty much. Let's get it. I got a couple things that I've made already, but I'm gonna finish it up with you guys, kind of show you everything that I do to finish or build a beat. Let's get into it. So right off the bat, I downloaded and bought some new guitar samples, layered them, and they sound like this. I added this kind of weird pad, very ambient, but sounds really nice on top of those guitars. Sounds like this. With the guitars underneath it, it sounds almost like it is supposed to fit together perfectly. After that, I played this piano on the MIDI. I kept the velocity for how I hit every single note, just so it gives it more of a real feel, so it's not super robotic. I'm going to highlight all of the notes, and I'm going to go to the swing, and I'm going to bring it up to about 20. The notes aren't hitting directly on time. It gives it more of like a human feel to it. Before I started recording this, I just put in some claps, just some basic claps. And so the actual beat is beginning to build. I'm going to go into the EQ and EQ it out, and do this as I go with every single instrument that I do. Now I'm going to quiet that guy down and duplicate it, and then copy and paste. So select, drag, hold Option, release. Now with the second one, I'm going to add just a small amount of reverb on it. Very subtle, but gives it a nice little ring to the clap. For maybe like guitars or something like this down here, I could put this maybe just slightly to the left, and then this guitar slightly to the right. Yeah, and it's just like a small difference, but listening to it in headphones is kind of cool how one guitar comes out a little tiny bit more to the right, and then the other guitar comes out a little bit tiny more to the left. It's just something subtle, and it's nice to think about sometimes, but it's not completely necessary. I'm using Ultrabeat to drag in all my external instruments. If you don't know how to get there, click this guy right here. It'll probably be blank, kind of like this audio effects, but click that, and then you go down to Ultrabeat Drum Synth Stereo, and then it'll open up this. Mine is already opening up, in the drag and drop samples, but for some reason I don't have the preset right there. But if it's not looking like this, you go here, go to drums, drag and drop samples, and then it'll open this guy and allow you to drag your external one shots into here and be able to sample it. Let's just listen. Yeah, that sounds good to me. Drag that guy in. To drag it in, it's this little ass thing. It's super hard to miss. It's right here. Click it, drag, and drop straight in. That's why it's called drag and drop. What I am going to do, just to make sure it is on time, or on key, I'm going to drag this guy, this little knob down here where it says pitch, to 130.8. Very hard to get, so you can just go in here and then type in C space 2, and it'll bring that to 130.8 hertz. And it allows you to play it on the MIDI, so like each key is a different pitch. You can select your key, your scale, and then your key, and then you can just hit this Q, and if it's not on B major, it'll fix itself. Cool, that sounds good. It's a little bit loud, which is kind of crazy because it's pretty quiet. Another thing I'll do, highlight all of them, go to functions, MIDI transform, random velocity, 120 over 100, select and operate, and that'll make the velocities all hit differently, so it's not as robotic. Very subtle, but still not directly on time. Let's do about a 15 swing for that. Sounds good. Next I'm moving on to, we're going to do a crash. I'm going to make it about this length. About 100 with the velocity. I'll turn it up. That actually kind of sounds good. Let's drag it just a little bit down. Nah, I like it up. Just how it. Put that in like there. And then loop the guy. And we're going to put that 10 to the right. This is where I'm going to actually put the open hat at. .97 for the velocity for that, and then we're going to put this 10 to the left. Let's pitch it down a little bit. That sounds good to me. I can't spell. For the last, we're going to do a cymbal. Just dead center in the middle. I'm going to extend this guy all the way to the end. And we're going to go and we're going to select the cymbal. Grab it. There you go. Alright, there we go. this guy, since there's that crash in, we're gonna put that right there. Boom, Command J will join everything. I'm just gonna loop that like so. Same thing, just select everything, drag, hold Option, and then it'll do it. So that's in a good spot. Just gonna make everything. So I'm gonna leave this and let it ride right here, and then right at this marker I'm gonna drop the bass. So let's put in some 808s. Shout out Industry Kits, Superstar O. And inside the pack you can find 808s and kicks that are perfectly matched for each other. So I'm going to sample through these until I find one that fits the beat pretty nicely. So drag the 808 in there, and what we're going to do is pitch it down to 130.8 C2. Now I'm going to find a little 808 melody that sounds good with it. So I got a bass pattern that I like, and I'm just gonna mess with it inside the piano roll. Bum, bum, bum. So 808s, good to go. Make the velocity all the same for it. Alright, going back to the 808. Let's add like a clipping effect to it. So we're gonna go to overdrive, stereo. Turn it all the way up for tone. Turn the drive all the way down. Turn the output down by 1. And let's get the kicks in here. Turn off the overdrive after duplicating. A pretty simple but really fire beat right here, just as it is. So I'm gonna see if there's anything else that I can maybe think of to put in here. That's pretty much the beat right there. I'm gonna spare you from the mastering that I'm gonna do and all the other EQing, but that is pretty much how you build a Juice World type beat. I hope this helped somewhat, and yeah, get out there and start making some beats.